After Australia were all out for 284 in their first innings, there was an absolute pandemonium.
Bowling got through his defence.
It's chopped it on. Watson is having the time of his life. Oh, that's a big shot. First up, is the finger going to go? I think it is.
Oh dear, that's going to be pretty close. I tell you, the finger's gone up. South Africa shot out for 96 and in dire straits. Their bowlers had other ideas.
Big appeal, but I thought, oh no, Gould says out.
That's not a bad shot. Finger's gone up.
Gone. Hussey, first ball. There's a big appeal here and gone. Whoa!
The madness continued. Australia skittled for 47, their lowest total in over 100 years. Strangely, South Africa looked solid at the end of a baffling day. Clark, a worried man. Funny old game, cricket.
South Africa versus Australia, the first Sunfoil Test match from Sahara Park here in Newlands, Cape Town, on a beautiful day. It's the third day, and let me tell you, it will be the final day, because that's what's happened. Australia put into bat on day one, 284. South Africa at lunch on day two were 49 for 1, bowled out for 96. Australia bowled out for 47, and then South Africa 81 for 1. They need another 155 to win this test match. Australia need 9 wickets. Australians gathering before coming onto the field. Just a brief chat. Michael Clark, who's played probably one of the best innings of his life at this particular ground during this test match, but as he said very early on, I don't know how good an innings it is until I know the result of this test match. If Australia do end up winning it, then it will have been one of the finest. If they don't, it won't mean a great deal to him. As Graham Smith, the South African captain, and Hashim Amla make their way onto the field. Next to me, former South African seam bowler Craig Matthews. Craig, I think enough has been said about the bizarre day of yesterday, but what can we expect today, I guess?
Good morning to everybody. Morning, Jackers. Yeah, after yesterday, who knows? But I think we'll get back to a bit more normality here today. The wicket certainly looks like it's just sort of flattened out a bit. It's got a browner tinge to it than it had yesterday, where it had a little bit of juice in the wicket. It was still a bit green. So I think we can expect a pretty normal chase. I don't think it'll be without its hiccups on the South African side, because chasing on the fourth innings of a test match always brings its own challenges. And Hashim Amla walks out on 29 not out. He had a lucky escape last night on the last ball of the day, facing Ryan Harris. Drove it a wide one, bit loose, went straight to Hussey in the gully. He didn't manage to hang on to it. I think the Australians needed that sort of full-up lift at the end of the day to take into today. Unfortunately, Hussey couldn't hang on to it, and Hashim Amla's there to continue. So I think it'll still be a tense day in the baskets for the South African side. Winning a test match against Australia is always a good effort, very, very important to the team. So those of you in Cape Town, it's a beautiful day, best day so far weather-wise for the test match. Get down. There'll be lots of interest in the first two sessions.
Absolutely, and I've got some news for you. The conditions of sale for the current test match clearly state that tickets that you have in your possession are not refundable or returnable, but given the freakish course of this exciting test match, the Western Province Cricket Association has decided to allow the loyal cricket supporters at Sahara Park News to use tickets for Saturday and Sunday today, or alternatively for the Nashua Mobile Cape Cobras versus Nashua Titans 50 over one-day cup match next Friday on the 18th of November. So you can swap those for today or next Friday.
Play.
umpires officiating in this test match. Ian Gould from England, former Sussex and England cricketer, wicket-keeper batsman, standing in his 22nd test match. And Billy Doctorow from the island of Dominica in the West Indies, standing in his 34th test.
It's interesting that Michael Clarke, the Australian captain, gone straight to Shane Watson. The South Africans identified through Morne Morkel that he was going to be the danger man for the Australian side, and Michael Clarke then has gone straight to Shane Watson. Took 5 wickets. 5 wickets yesterday in 21 balls, got a fifer. It doesn't happen every day.
Billy Bowden was probably as busy as anybody, if not more so, yesterday, with the number of reviews that he had to cope with. And if it wasn't just the reviews, there was also there was a referral from the 2 umpires as to whether Jacques Rudolph had completed the catch at 3rd slip that caught out Philip Hughes. So Billy earned his shekels yesterday, that's for sure.
Big day for Australia in the field. Only a 2-match test series, so you don't want to be going behind. And before the start of play this morning, Michael Clarke got his bowling attack around him. Had a quick chat about the sort of lengths they want to be bowling, how they want to approach their work today. Needs them to all fire today, not just 1 or 2 of them. Needs all 4 of them to bowl well.
Runs for Smith, the first runs of the day. Sweet timing, it'll get away for 4. So good in that area.
He's always been very strong off his pads. Can lead to problems when balls presented on and about off stump. When he gets leg stump half volleys, he's as good as anybody in the world, just tucking them away, just turning it behind square on the onside.
Middle of the bat. Oh, 85 for 1.
Here we go. 2 or 3 slips.
Smith moves into the 40 with that, into the 40s with that boundary in the last over. Rudolph out last night, and Hamlet yet to face this morning. It's going to be Peter Siddle who's going to take him on from the Kelvin Grove end. Comfortable single.
Loosener from Peter Siddle. It's link stump. They came prepared today. So we need 236 to win.
Middle stump, please.
Just back a fraction, mate. That's him there.
Good.
Two slips and a gully, a fairly fine gully. 3 saving 1 in the covers. 2 men back, fine leg and sort of deep square leg, not even all the way on the boundary, and a mid-on. This day of cricket yesterday was so extraordinary that it's worth just mentioning that this is the 2016th cricket test match ever, and yesterday was the first time that a batsman from both teams was dismissed twice on the same day. Michael Clarke and Jacques Rudolph. Quite incredible. 2015 test matches have been played before this one.
Yeah, it was a funny old day. A lot of experience around the commentary box, press area. And nobody, even from Alan Border, Robin Jackman, played a lot of cricket, all the commentators, nobody had seen anything like it.
Oh, 23 wickets fell yesterday. First time since 1924-25. Which is in and around 86 years, I'm told. Just never very good at maths. Shane Watson at first slip. South Africa were very positive in the way that they played yesterday evening, given the score. 87 for 1 from nearly 19 overs is really quite quick scoring test match cricket. Leg by, and 88 for 1. Reasonable crowd in already. And who wouldn't want to come down and watch this day? Still pretty windy, and the wind's got a chill to it. Clear blue skies, sunshine. And Watson only got to bowl the 1 over. Ryan Harris changing ends. Now from the Weinberg end.
Yeah, I got it wrong. I thought that Watson was going to get a spell from that side. It was just to change ends for Ryan Harris. I just had a look this morning. I don't know, Robin, you were out there doing the pitch report. I get the impression that maybe there's just a little more green grass bowling from the Kelvin end more than the Weinberg end. I might just do a little bit, if it's going to do a bit, do a little bit more bowling up the hill.
Yeah, the end that I was crouched at was in fact the end you're talking about, at the batting at the Kelvin Grove, at the Weinberg end, bowling from out, put down. Oh dear, Amla, 2 chances, one the last ball of last night and now early on today.
Unusual for Shane Watson to spill this at first slip, because it's a fairly regulation catch off the back foot, just trying to force it up the ground. Same bowler, Ryan Harris again, lucky one. Just a little bit of extra bounce, pushed it at Amla. Very unusual for Shane Watson to grasp that.
Yeah, Brad Haddon didn't interfere in any way, so it's all down to the catcher. Know how you feel. I don't think anyone who's played the game doesn't. Just back to your point, although it looks the whole surface looks an awful lot browner and with less moisture than it has done the first 2 days, the tinge of green there is at that end. There we go, that's real time. Comes quite quickly, but fairly standard slip catch.
Yeah, it was a nice height, wasn't it? It wasn't too low. Wasn't any sort of chest height where you wouldn't know whether he should turn his fingers up or keep them down. It was a nice height, just to his left. You'd expect to catch that most times.
Keep doing it, H. Keep bashing in there, Rhino. Come on, mate. Rhino.
Solid defence from Smith.
Lovely channels there, Rhino.
To mention that Brad Haddon didn't interfere in any way. I suppose you could say should he have done, but having not done, there's absolutely no reason why Watson shouldn't have caught it. 89 for 1. Just remember, anybody who does have tickets for Saturday and Sunday can swap them for today or the 50 over one-day match between the Cobras and the Titans on Friday the 18th of November. .147 required. 9 wickets in hand. 9 wickets required by the Australians. One of the problems, I guess, Craig, that Michael Clarke will have is how attacking can he remain? Already last night's field was 3 slips and a gully. This morning it's only 2. There's a bit of extra cover in the cover region with the extra player of extra cover.
Yeah, that is a big challenge for him. He wants to bowl as many balls as he can to South Africa. And by that I mean he's got to try and, as you said, balance the attack versus the defence, and so he's got 3 in the covers at the moment, 2 slips and a gully. There's nobody at third man, just a normal onside field, mid-on, mid-wicket and a fine leg. And what he's trying to do is trying to make sure that South Africa can't just knock it in on the offside, run 1 and keep knocking it down, getting more confidence as they go. But at the same time, he also wants to try and attack. In other words, if the ball does seam and the bowler gets the outside edge, he wants to have enough guys behind the wicket to make the catch.
It's all very logical and very sensible. The thought process. We were talking up here earlier about how South Africa might go about it, and rotating the strike was one of them. Just keep making sure you don't miss out on singles, but Clarke seems to have cut that opportunity down by the extra fielder in the covers. It's down to the bowlers to bowl in the right place.
Well bowled. Good length, good pace behind that. You're right, Jackers. He has sort of found the balance, and I suppose the threat to him is if somebody nicks it to third slip, there's nobody there. We would probably all say, oh, he should have. He's not going to defend 147 over 3 days, so he should have had 3 slips. It's a tough ask being a captain.
Around your seats.
It's well bowled by Sydney.
Your man here, did he?
Hashim Amla, when he had 29 last night, last ball of the day, presented itself. He had a drive at it, straight to Hussey. Such good hands, Michael Hussey. Puts it down, and then he added one this morning, and on 30, it was Watson's turn.
I'm sure Hashim would agree that those were admit. Just a bit loose, both of them, pushing at the ball.
.236 the overall target, 92 for one. This partnership now 65. Harris continues. That was a good shot for nothing.
Yeah, sweet timing. Here's a sweet timer of the ball. Hashim Amla. Through a one-day series, just a bit unlucky. Kept on finding ways to get himself out. Got run out at Newlands. Got a double 100 earlier in the Super Sports Series, the domestic competition. So it's been reasonable form. Next in, Jean Cullis, maybe de Villiers. National Prince had a first bowler in the first innings, so some runs in the second. The debutant. And the bowlers, South Africa will hope won't come down to that lot.
Big shout, not out, says the umpire. What are the Australians going to do here? They want to have another look at it. They've been very good with their calls so far. They got them all just about dead right. Yes, Michael Clarke is asking Billy to get involved again.
Yeah, he is, and I'm not sure, Jack, but I think this is out of the match situation more than anything else. I think there's a feeling that it's probably going down leg. You see the ball, it's tight, but it's okay, I think. Yeah, just okay. Slip forward a little bit. And I think it's probably sliding down leg. And maybe this match situation, he needs a wicket badly. And maybe that's what's forced him to go upstairs.
Yeah, you're right. When you can see off and middle, there's every chance that's missing leg. Even if it's clipping the outside, just clipping the outside of leg, the on-field decision will remain. More than half the ball's got to be hitting the stump. It hasn't hit the bat, so it's all about whether the ball would have hit the stumps or not.
Hawkeye, the final part of the decision-making process, shows it's going down leg. So it was an ambitious call. I get the impression that the bowler, Ryan Harris, was pretty certain it was going down leg. The men behind the wicket, being desperate for a wicket, decided to have a little flutter at going upstairs. Only one left for Australia now.
South Africa would be pretty happy with that, because they had 3 not out decisions yesterday overturned by the Australians. And I think you're spot on, Craig. I think it was match situation that created that. Sweet shot. Again, good timing and beautiful placement.
Billy Doctrove signals 4. This is not an easy shot to hit, particularly on a wicket like this. The ball has done a bit, certainly in the half volley, just back of a length. And he's done well, stayed very still, went through the line, and his timing was impeccable.
Very deliberate attempt to keep the blade of the bat on line there, wasn't there? There was talk about reading the maker's name. 96 for 1. Highest fourth innings scores to win test matches at Newlands. This would be the second highest. Original target, remember, 236. Got an inside edge on that.
Trying to swing the ball back into Graham Smith, trapped in LBW. This one's just nipped back a little bit, inside edge, it's into the pads. It's out a lot dragging the ball on. Graham Smith got it in the first innings like that. Not miles away from doing it again.
Just maybe got a knock on the knee there. Taking his time to settle in for the next delivery. And Graham Smith leaves the ball well, forces bowlers to bowl a bit straighter at him, and then he picks them off through the onside. And, it's probably a better idea from the bowling point of view to stick with that original line that he's leaving, but just adjust the length, try and get him to have a drive at you on the offside. Your thoughts, Craig?
Yeah, I think that would be sound advice. He wants to get, as I said, he drags it on a lot, just needs a bit fuller. Yeah, needs to be just a bit fuller and get him to drive like he did there. And the angle of the bat and his grip, you can drag it back onto the stumps, you can get him to nick it to slip. We can hit it in the air like he did here, sort of slicing it through the point area.
Just 1 point to square cover. 1 bounce, I should say, to square cover. It's good cricket, this, from both teams. Australia bowl well this morning. 1 chance has gone down.
So somebody out the square leg boundary. Back on the square leg boundary. I'm not sure if he's going to throw in a short ball. Hoping he'll have a hook.
A little bit of luck there, inside edge, and it's gone past the stumps for 4. Brings up the South African 100 for the loss of Rudolph. have we got here? Bunch of Smurfs. Is the one with the orange the boss? Oh, I don't know. Graham Smith had a little bit of luck last ball of the last over.
Yeah, just under edge. Very fine for 4. Yeah, I'm not sure, really short enough to be playing the pull shot to me, I don't think. This isn't certainly not halfway down. It's just back of a length delivery. And it's not really, it's going on the up when he's trying to pull it through the onside. Very lucky it didn't crash into the stumps. Bowling by Ryan Harris here. He's settled into a good line and length. He's had a catch dropped already. He's doing some good work here. A lot of people rate him as with Watson as the danger man for Australia on this wicket. He's putting together a very good spell now.
Mamla, sometimes he's got trigger movements, sometimes he doesn't always do it, I get the impression. This is the first ball of this over, and he's gone back a little bit, and then his right foot sort of slides out behind that leg stump again, hasn't got a long way forward. Second ball, it's much more assured, just sort of suddenly felt for the ball. Remember yesterday there was some time in his innings where he didn't actually do that trigger movement at all. One ball, just didn't do it.
That's an interesting point. A lot of the batsmen have trigger movements, and it's not just about the trigger movements you make in terms of getting back and across and getting slightly forward. It's making sure you get the timing of those trigger movements right as well. You're not into that sort of position too early. And there you look like you might have just got there a bit early again. So it's about getting timing right. You get your foot too far across and get knocked over LBW like you did in the first innings. So it's making the right movements, but also getting the timing right. Very testing over from Ryan Harris. Has been right on the number. Just back of a length, just on and about off stump. And it's fairly good pace.
Solid defence this time. 24 overs completed in the innings, 100 for 1. For 1 then, and half an hour has gone by, and 1 or 2 alarms, and they're getting dropped at slip, and 1 or 2 play and misses, but now time for new voices. Alan Border with Mike Hazeman.
Thanks, Robin. Yeah, it's been certainly interesting this morning. We knew it would be, and I guess that South Africa, yes, Robin's correct. They did have a let-off. They would have been thinking about that first half hour a lot before they came into the park today. Now they would have said, righto, we've done that, tick that box, let's go for the first hour. Australia AB have wasted a review.
Very much so, and to me it shows the mindset that there's a bit of hope going on out there. throughout that process, there was no one that was confident out there that a mistake had been made. And so it was just more in hope than anything else that they go for a review, having dropped the catch. So the mindset's, just they need to get back on track as far as that's concerned.
So that's been wasted. You're allowed 2 unsuccessful reviews per inning, so they've only got 1 left now, Australia. Of course, they don't want to be in a situation where they maybe have South Africa 6 down and 7 down perhaps, and a handful of runs to go, and not have 1 up their sleeve. I would have thought that might have been the thought process. But no, 1 gone. 19 runs off 7 overs in the first half hour. Nicely whipped away on the leg side. You might have heard the call of 2 from Graeme Smith, who has a very good record, by the way, Graeme Smith, when batting 4th in a test match. A personal record, that is.
Well, he's a very gritty, determined player. Has a unique technique that works for him. And when you've got that mindset where you make yourself very hard to get out, that really helps when conditions are difficult.
Now he's on 47 now. There's a look at the work he's done in the second innings. Averages 46. He won't be tempted to have a go at that. His numbers throughout his entire career, and yes, we all know he's had a few problems, but have a look at these numbers. First innings, 92 innings, averaging 52, 46 averaging in the second dig. That's not bad, AB.
Well, I think that's fantastic, given the fact that he's an opening batsman, so he's facing the new ball. And so you're going to be vulnerable in that situation. To average 49, or best part of 50 overall, is just a fantastic return for an opening batsman.
Absolutely. Just the 1, 2 men back. Just to continue, AB, his numbers when batting in the 4th innings. He averages 53 when batting in the 4th inning. So again, that just backs up what you're saying about his determination.
Well, that's right. Invariably, if you're batting in the 4th innings, the pitch is not at its absolute best. You're facing the new ball first up, and to me, he's a seriously good player. You can question the technique side of things, but you never question the determination. End of the over, 1 for 103.
It's a very pleasant day in Cape Town today, plenty of sunshine. South Africa need 133 more runs to win. Amazing to think after both teams had batted once that Australia were 188 runs ahead. Nine wickets in hand now, South Africa. Smith on 48. Loud scream of no. Have you got over the fact, AB, that Australia nearly got rolled over for 20?
No, and probably never will. I mean, it's something that's going to be discussed quite a lot in future games. Every time Australia plays South Africa, it will be brought up. It'll just be one of those periods of cricket, and I suppose the only thing I can say is I was there watching it.
Cringing in the back of the commentary box. It was only that 10th wicket stand that doubled their score pretty much. Now that's gone past the outside edge. I don't think it did too much off the deck, although Graeme Smith's having a bit of a cursory glance. That's going to happen from time to time.
And again, it's just one of those days where that's what you've got to do as a bowler. Get the ball into those areas. You get a little bit of movement here and there. Not extravagant, but enough to make the batsman wary.
So the ball before that from Harris, they just seemed away a fraction. And then just a nice backup ball from Harris. Next delivery bounces a bit more.
Yeah, talking to a couple of the Australians this morning, they're obviously shell-shocked like everyone, but they said that the wicket is starting to get a little bit too pace, too heights to the same delivery.
A.B. de Villiers made an interesting comment to me this morning. I think it was a pretty accurate one as well, perhaps the best assessment. He said that there's no doubt that yesterday's play, the track quickened up. And he said it wasn't seeming a great deal, but just enough at reasonable pace. And that was where he thought that guys were caught out. There he is with the skins on, AB.
Yeah, and he's seriously a good player himself. And I think that's a perfect assessment. The ball just did enough at pace.
South Africa at the moment, 103 for 1. This will be an astonishing victory should they get these extra 133 runs. He's been testing Smith so far, has Ryan Harris. As a look at the work he's done so far, one past the outside edge, one bounced a bit more, then a little bit wider trying to tempt him. How's he going to finish off? It's well left by Smith. 103 for 1. Just a reminder that the Western Province Cricket Association has decided to allow the loyal cricket supporters at this ground, Sahara Park Newlands, to use tickets for Saturday and Sunday today. Or alternatively for the National Mobile Cape Cobras versus Titans 50 over game on the 18th of November. Come on down and enjoy the fun. Pretty good crowd at the moment, building up, which is good to see. All hoping, I'm sure, with their fingers crossed, that they're going to be able to help South Africa get home. Perhaps not all. There's one or two Australians in the commentary box for starters, I guess, and a couple of Australians in the crowd. Everyone identified, conversations before play, Shane Watson, as they probably should after the work he did in the first innings. He is bowling from the other end, though. Into the breeze.
Australia needs something, don't they, soon, just to break, put a bit more pressure on the opposition, just to have lift your own spirits. Maybe Shane Watson is the man to do it after that the first innings heroics. There's no doubt he'll stand the seam up. That's one thing he's very good at. Whether he can hit those good areas, the good length that we've been talking about.
5 wickets in the space of 21 deliveries. Something we've seen once or twice from Hashim Amla today as well, which gives me the feeling, AB, that the track has just settled down a fraction. Hashim will be the first to admit that he's not one of those guys who uses his feet excessively. He never really gets close to the pitch of the ball when he's driving off the front foot. His balance is absolutely superb. He's an extraordinary cricketer, we know that. But because he's one of those players that plays in that sort of style, you're going to get caught out if the track is doing something excessive. And he's played a couple of lovely drives. Punching that through the covers. He's going to pick up 2, that's for sure. Graham Smith will think about coming back for the 3rd. He decides against it.
Right on cue, just punching the ball through that offside. You have a look at those initial movements, the back and across, gets himself set. A little bit of forward press with that front foot getting into line and not overplaying the shot. That's so important, particularly in this sort of surface where there's little things happening. Don't overplay the shot, just knock the ball with some timing.
Big shout this time from the Australians. It's come back in a little bit, but umpire Ian Gould is not interested. Let's have a look and see if the Australians are interested. They have lost one review. Michael Clark is having a chat to Brad Haddon. Wow, now that's, I wonder, no, they've decided not to.
And I think that might be a mistake. There you go. Just watching that live, that looked better than the first one.
A little bit of a look to the heavens. I wonder if there was an inside net, because it looked pretty adjacent to me. This will tell us in the super slow-mo. Tailing back in a fraction. It's hitting just under the roll. They decide against it. Back live now. Again, just driving on the up a little bit was Husham.
This is the LBW shout. To me, that may be hitting leg stump. Original decision is not out. They've been just drifting down. Well, yes, good call from the Aussies. Once bitten, twice shy.
Confirmation of no neck. It's a nice drive, but straight to the field on the leg side. End of the over, 105 for 1. Pretty tense at the moment. The Smurfs are enjoying proceedings. He's only bowled 3 overs so far. Mitchell Johnson, left arm fast. He gets it right, he's always going to pose some problems. 5 overs only in the first innings. Been a little bit on the expensive side, but AB, you know him better than most. He can be dangerous.
Oh, very much so. He's a streak bowler, though. You've got to, as a captain, use him. If it's not working, get him off quickly. Change ends.
A streak bowler.
Yeah, if he gets on a streak, he can get 3, 4, 5 wickets for you.
Had me worried there for a minute.
Not a streaker bowler.
Okay, just checking.
Just streak, the singular.
He's got basically 3 slips. 2 slips and I suppose a 5th to Graham Smith, who's on 48. Still on 48. This is the little head-to-head everyone's been talking about for a long time. Johnson versus Smith, 2009 we saw it. Of course we saw it in Australia as well. He's given the odd rap on the hand over the years to the opposite skipper.
It's been a good contest, and when Mitchell occasionally you get it right and swing the ball, he is a real handful. You just haven't seen enough of it.
There's no doubt that Graham Smith will look to try and assert his authority in this little head-to-head. He's one of those guys, as Graham, that stands up to any challenge. He will also be thinking that in the last couple of knocks, I suppose, first innings, we could include that as well. And also that game in Port Elizabeth on the one-dayer, the second one-dayer, where he got a start and got out. So he will know that he'll really want to kick on here, but he'll be nice and positive against Johnson. He's got that away through the vacant area. Only 2 genuine slips. Brings up a 50 for Graham Smith. He'll be quite relieved with that, I'm sure. Supported by his teammates and also the crowd. Quite a bit of noise at his home ground, which is good to see. It's his 30th Test 50.
Tremendous innings given the pressure situation. He started off and a real captain's knock. Yes, a streaky shot to bring up the 52, but up until that point he'd played quite superbly. 9 boundaries in that innings to date, and yeah, a very, very timely knock from the South African skipper. Shot that brought up Graham Smith's 50, went at it hard, so that's an important thing. Got plenty of edge on it. The ball flew high and wide of the slips fielders there for the Australians.
By the way, that last delivery at 146 k's per hour for Mitchell Johnson. A little bit straighter that time. There is protection though. Just be the single.
Looks like he's getting just a little bit of reverse swing. Mitchell Johnson with that slinging action. Can't get the ball to drift into the left-hander. Graham Smith versus Australia, just below his career average. But probably hasn't been a more important 50 for his country than the one he's just produced.
He's certainly building up a bit of pace now. 145 k's per hour. It's his first over, of course, into the game at the moment, and we'll find take a bit of time, I guess, to find some rhythm, but it's looking pretty spot on at the start of the spell.
Well, I think he's probably been told, Mitchell, this is our last throw of the dice. We just need you to rush in and let him go. And if he gets it right, I mean, that's when he can get on that streak where he gets some wickets for you.
That is an absolute gem. A magnificent delivery to finish the over. 110 for 1. So Graham Smith, bit of a chat at the end of that over. We'll be saying something along the lines to Hashamamla that he's got to continue. He's played very well for this 50 so far. 77 deliveries. The stand between the two is 83. It's been a solid knock.
As you come to expect with Graham Smith, very dominant on that onside, and very importantly from his own point of view, a good bat swing, so he's a couple of boundaries straight down the ground, so that is always a good sign for him.
Now, AB mentioned the fact that Mitchell Johnson was getting a little bit of reverse. I think we might have seen a fraction of the same from Shane Watson in that last over, that big LBW shout. Let's have a look and see, watch closely in this over. If it goes away from Graham Smith.
Just talking about that bit of reverse swing. The last delivery from Mitchell Johnson's previous over, that was an absolute peach. Not much you can do about those as a batsman, just the angle and a little bit of movement in the air and off the wicket. Close to everything, but no result for the bowlers.
Early call of wait, and then yes. Good understanding between the two. Now today, of course, is the 11th of the 11th, 2011. Score at the moment is a 1-1-1 for 1. And we're about 11 minutes to 11 o'clock.
Well, the way this game's gone to date, expect the unexpected.
Got to admire the application from the Australians. They're certainly providing a great deal of encouragement, as they should be doing. They saw what happened yesterday, and they'll be thinking if they get one, they can possibly get 3 or 4. I guess that's the bottom line. What a magnificent day in Cape Town.
Yes, that picture there just makes this ground so special.
Solid stuff from Hashamamla. Absolutely no doubt that this trigger movement that he's introduced is to try and get him a little bit more forward than what we have seen at times in the past. Something that he's worked out, and I guess you wouldn't be any bit or the least bit surprised that Hashim Amla's worked hard at his game and come up with some sort of plan which is just going to get that extra stride, that extra press forward.
What he's doing well, he's got that trigger movement back and across, and then he's moving the front foot into position if the ball's full, so he's getting in really good position out of his crease, back and across, so the back foot's on the crease, and he moves from there.
And he's moving at the right time too, AB. Some guys, when they're not in great nick, tend to do their trigger movements a little bit late, and then it's all rushed and get caught up, so he's doing it in a nice, peaceful fashion, which you'd expect, I guess, with Hashim. One from the over. Nelson for one. We're about 6 minutes away now from completing the first hour of play on day 3, which would have been a big little target, I think, for the South Africans. They haven't got there yet, but so far so good as far as they're concerned. They need 125 to win, with 9 wickets in hand. Lots of encouragement for Mitchell Johnson, who's found his straps. They know that he's such a key player in this sort of scenario. Smith in the firing line with a broad bat at the moment.
Well, missed out there, Graham Smith. I was almost too wide to have a crack at, but short and wide, right in the slot to smash away. Almost got too wide, got it towards the toe end of the bat. There's sort of deliveries that you can easily get wrong and bunt it straight to point, and you've lost your wicket to an absolute long hop.
Just past the outside edge. Smith is very annoyed with himself after sparring at that. Good delivery, perfect line from Mitchell Johnson.
Yeah, these are the deliveries that Mitchell Johnson can produce, just holding its line, if anything going away slightly from Graham Smith. Most of the deliveries have been sort of angling back at the left-hander, but got himself in a bit of a tangle there with his footwork. Front foot went nowhere.
Gee, what a nice little challenge this is right now. Again, he'll feel he missed out a little bit, might have kept a fraction low. But again, the pace is good for Mitchell Johnson.
We've got West Indies supporters. Is that a West Indies cap there? So we've got the lot. South Africans, Australians, West Indians.
Bit of knitting as well, AB. Ever tried that?
No.
Thank goodness for that.
You want to jump, you go down a shop and buy one, don't you? Don't really need a jumper today. Beautiful weather. This is perfect Cape Town day.
Last ball of this, the 30th over now. Again, he can't get it away, but that's terrific stuff to watch, I should say, between Smith and Johnson. 1-1-1 for one. 125 more to win for South Africa. All the South African supporters will be counting these down runs or by runs. They won't be thinking too far ahead, that's for sure, the South Africans. nor the batsman in the middle. Change room, I guess. There'll be little scenes of superstition, AB, probably in the change room. They won't be moving too much.
That's a traditional one, isn't it? Once you've taken your seat, that's it. You're not allowed to move. You don't want to break the karma. I think in Australian dressing rooms there's been a few very superstitious players. Terry Alderman was one. So you weren't allowed to move, and if you rushed off to go to the toilet, you had to be back in your seat before the next ball or the next over was bowled. He was terrible.
It's a nice punch into the covers, but the runs have certainly dried up over the last couple of overs. Australians are keeping things nice and tight. Yes, Smith might have thought that he could have got a couple off that last over from Johnson, but didn't. That was a maiden. So I guess that's the default plan. If you can't pick up the wickets, if you can't take the odd catch, you've got to make sure that you stop the runs, get the batsmen out of their comfort zone. 30 runs off the last 13 overs. Nice and tight again from Shane Watson. 8 runs off the last 5 overs.
Playing a few mind games. A man's been placed out in the deep, just in front of a square, and got a short mid-wicket. So, suggestion there may be some short pitch bowling in the offing.
3 dot ball so far on this over. I don't think it's going to be worrying Umla too much. There's so much time left. Beautifully bowled by Watson and nicely ridden. A single's the end result, just to rotate the strike.
I think the crowd were onto the fact that it was Nelson on the board. It was a big cheer for that single. Did you ever go to the cricket with one of those hats on, Hazy?
No, mate, no. I always used to bring my knitting. Watson's now bowled twice as many deliveries as he did yesterday and hasn't picked up a wicket.
Nothing will happen till after lunch.
Oh, okay, yeah. I must say, I blame, I mean, everyone's talking about who to blame and whatever and what the story was. I have a view that it was Kepler Wessels' fault. We were walking back after lunch yesterday, doing some work on the park at lunch yesterday, and Kepler just turned to me as we're going up the stairs to the commentary box and he said, I think this test match needs to move on a little bit from here. They were 1 for 49 at that stage. In the next couple of hours they lost 19 wickets, so I blame Chopper.
Well, he got his wish, didn't he?
Just a bit of a reflection, I think. That's the issue that Ricky's trying to sort out. No doubt just worrying Ian Gould, I think. That's the bottom line. Last ball, the over. And just 1 from it. 112 for 1. It's just past 11 o'clock on the 11th of the 11th, 2011. Time for AB and myself to take a breather. In the commentary box now, it's going to be Kepler Wessels who batted number 1 and Pommy Mbangwa who batted number 11.
Oh, all true, all true. I've got to applaud that shot, and you too, Hayes. It's a good effort, that.
good shot as well. So this partnership continues to flourish. Graham Smith has looked assured. He's played well in this test match, getting back to his best form. Hashim Amla as well, growing in stature. He's had a little bit of luck. He was dropped twice, but the main thing from South African point of view is that he's still there.
Just want to point out though that it was number 11 yesterday who got the highest score in Australia's innings.
It was too, and an impressive 14 it was.
Would have been better if he got 11.
Exactly.
Going with the theme, it was nearly, well no, it was close to the 11th time that a number 11 had done that.
The 8th, wasn't it?
Yeah, correct.
So Australia toiling away without success this morning. One opportunity was missed. Shane Watson at first slip dropped a tough one off Hashim Amla. And when you defend a modest total, you've got to take all the opportunities that come your way. A little bit surprised by the fact that Shane Watson hasn't bowled at the same end where he was so successful in the first innings, that Michael Clarke has chosen to be bowling at the opposite end for the majority of the second innings. He has looked the most threatening bowler in the Australian lineup, particularly from the end that he got all those wickets. So I'm not sure that that's the right tactic. Might have something to do with the way the wind's blowing today and the way that conditions may have changed, but not mad about changing a successful formula.
Yeah, some bowlers are superstitious like that. They'll bowl at one end and then try the other end. And despite doing well at one, they look to change at the other. You get those who, and I think it's like batsmen with a favourite stick. If they get 100 with it, they want to use it again. And some bowlers want to bowl at the same end. But they're a bit bizarre, all those superstitions with cricketers. Never understand why it's actually happening. Johnson around the wicket now.
So Alan Border and Mike Haseman talked about the change in technique of Hashim Amla's, and it's definitely a different trigger movement. He's got a bigger trigger movement now, gets further across to off stump. Now the previous one worked very well for him. He was very successful batting the way that he did. So I'm just wondering what's behind his theory to change it and to make that movement bigger and to go further across to the off stump.
Shot, absolutely fantastic from Hashim Amla, and it's sped to the boundary for 4. What a way to end the over. 122 for 1. He also brings up 50. 20th Test match 50 for Hashim Amla, and he has 12 hundreds to go with it. The partnership between Amla and Graham Smith, 95. Superb work. He's had a couple of lives, but using them to good effect.
An excellent shot as well to bring up the 50, and there's his career statistic. That's impressive stuff. Average of 47. So very consistent, Hashim Amla. And this is the way he got to his 50. Got into a very good position. Got that front foot close to the pitch of the ball, and his timing was superb.
Outstanding. Just raced to the boundary. And that's why it was out of the middle of the bat. Weight transfer absolutely spot on.
played it very late underneath his eyes. So Peter Siddle, he's going to have another go.
Graham Smith is on 54 not out now. He's played brilliantly in this test match. That first innings also looked really good. Set himself up, worked through the new ball, and was visibly disappointed when he got out, chopped one on that bounced a little bit more than he expected. But he had seen through that new ball and looked in good touch. He's looked in good touch here as well. Now he generally, and this is a look at the first innings, South Africa 96 all out. He scored 37 of those off 48 balls, so was going pretty quickly. That first wicket was a good one for South Africa. And they're now on 54 from 91. In the couple of big chases that South Africa have had in recent times, they chased 283 at Birmingham. He's got that away, he'll get a couple. They chased 283 in England at Birmingham, and it was tough batting, and it needed somebody to lead from the front. And he did that, Graham Smith. He got 154 not out. The one that everybody remembers is the Perth game. Later in that year, towards the end of the year, chasing 414, second best in test match chases. In that match, he got things started. 108 he got, followed up by A.B. de Villiers, who got 100 not out, and J.P. Dooman, who got 50 not out to see the side home. But the point I'm driving at is the fact that when South Africa are in a spot where they need somebody to lead and to set the tone, it is Graham Smith who's had to do that in recent times and done the job well. It's 11-11.
There we go.
And South Africa require 111 more to win. Stand on one leg then. You would normally if it was 111 for one, but hey, it's gone. Everybody on one leg for 1 minute. Do you have the balance? That's the question.
Just as well for Alan Donald, because his other knee's sore anyway. So if you're superstitious, better be very careful in the next little bit.
Yeah, the crowd up as well, and
good delivery and well played as well. So 33 gone, 125 for one.
superb stuff by Hashim Amla. Really good to watch, and look at that, the balance. Every time he plays, the shots presents the full face of the blade. It's been testing on this pitch. As you look at his wagon wheel, heavy on the offside. Couple of on drives as well. He always looked good. But he does pepper that extra cover area, or I should say cover point area, because he drives and punches the ball off the back foot as well. Square, just in front of square.
Nicely played on the leg side by Graham Smith. Good balance. Yes, Hashim Amla's got very quick bat speed. So good wrist movement. Gets a lot of pace on the ball through that. And he's strong on the leg side, as we know, but also very strong square of the wicket on the offside. So Michael Clarke, he's got his problems. Australia, if they want to win this game, they need to start getting some wickets in a hurry. South Africa still lots of batting to come. Strong top six. They may have failed in the first innings, but that's not going to happen too often.
As well played, well bowled as well. It was quick, 145.7 kilometers an hour, and well directed.
Very well played this. So the good thing is that Hashim Amla got his gloves out the way and watched the ball all the way through. So this is very good technique.
You have to keep evolving as a batsman in international cricket. I remember a time when Hashim Amla used to be peppered by this. England came here and peppered him, and to good effect too, because they got him a few times. And then he went away and had to work on his game and to make sure he got his technique right when it came to dealing with the short deliveries, whether it were playing them or leaving them alone.
And he improved a lot in that very respect. Made a few technical changes, and that worked for him.
Fantastic. The two short balls to push the batsman back, and then the attempt to catch him with the feet not quite moving, but Amla up to the task, drives through the offside, again square. 100 partnership between Smith and Amla.
Nothing wrong with Mitchell Johnson's strategy. He just got that one a fraction too full. Previous two bounces were there to push Amla back into the crease, and then the one further up going across him, looking for the outside edge.
And again, oh, absolutely brilliant. 4 more.
Back-to-back boundaries, so wonderful batting by Hashim Amla. This was a better shot than the previous one, through extra cover, presenting the full face of the bat. Too much width offered by Mitchell Johnson.
Just can't afford to drop Hashim Amla twice, or the mighty Hash as he's called. 134 for 1. South Africa require 102 more, and it's drinks time. $134 for 1. South Africa going along swimmingly, and that's because of this partnership, Graham Smith and Hashim Amla. 107 from 166 balls. That's in really good time, considering how difficult run making has been on this pitch. This is a look at what they've done together. Smith strong on the leg side, a couple of really good on drives from Hashim Amla, but untroubled to a degree. That was streaky, went off to the boundary and brought up Graham Smith's 50. They've been talking to each other, looking to help each other along. A series of beautiful cover drives, one of them bringing up Hashim Amla's 50 as well. Look at that, the best of the lot. 58 and 58. Smith and Amla. Lots of batting to come, and Cullis de Villiers, Prince Boucher and Philander. And South Africa require 102 more runs to win this first Sunfoil Test match. Who would have thought it? A mad 29 and a half overs on day number 2. That man there, Kepler, what an innings that was.
It was, but his character and his resolve will be tested after what happened in the first innings. He batted so well, and then a complete collapse by the top order in Australia. So Michael Clark at the press conference was clearly very disappointed. And as captain, you've got to take the ups and the downs, but you don't expect something to unravel like the Australian batting order unraveled yesterday. So he's got his work to do to keep his troops motivated, to keep them enthusiastic, and to keep them believing that they can still win this test match.
Peter Siddle continues. Look at the bowlers that have been used: Harris, Siddle, Watson and Johnson. Just the 1 wicket. None for 23 for Watson, who did the damage in the first innings. Harris none for 31. He got 4 for in the first. And Johnson none for 40, just put to the sword and over a go by.
And the thing about him is that he's inconsistent. You never know from spell to spell, sometimes even from delivery to delivery, what you're going to get. The South African attack throughout this test match just looked more threatening than the Australian one. I know Australia bowled South Africa out in the first innings for 96, but that was through some freakish stuff by Watson. South Africa on balance looked like they can get wickets at any time. But Mitchell Johnson hasn't delivered in this game.
First 14 overs of today yielded 31 runs. The next 3 yielded 22.
He's a good, honest performer, Peter Siddle. He just doesn't do quite enough with the ball. He'll run in for you all day, give it his very best shot, basically just nip it back into the right-hander, cross the left-hander like he's doing now.
Yeah, bowls a decent pace, and when there's assistance, he can knock a side over. Boxing Day Test 2008, I think. MCG. He got 6 for it, didn't he? Against the South Africans. It was good for him because he is from Melbourne. So the crowd got behind him and he could celebrate that. Remember his hat-trick in the Ashes. The Ashes just gone in Brisbane.
His partnership now the highest in the game as well. I suppose you could argue that day 3 has been the best batting day that we've seen so far. Pitch has dried out a little bit. The ball's still just doing enough. If you bowl well, you can still get results. So you've got to bat really well and concentrate well and show good technique. It's not doing quite as much as it was on day 1 and 2, that's for sure.
Oh. 135 for 1. A look at the summary of this first Sunfoil test. Australia 284, fantastic 151 by the Aussie skipper Michael Clark. 96 South Africa shot out. Watson 5 for 17, the 5 wickets coming in 21 balls, and then Australia all out 47 in their second innings. Now South Africa 135 for 1. Target 236, they are 101 away. Here's Ryan Harris, looking to get into the wickets, looking to get the Aussies going again.
got 4 wickets the first innings. He bowled pretty well. He hasn't bowled badly in this innings. He's been the unlucky bowler. The 2 catches that went down were off his bowling. One was in the gully when Mike Hussey missed one, and the other one was at first slip this morning. Shane Watson missed a tough one. So he has been a bit unlucky.
You've changed, Kipler.
Why is that?
No, this one wasn't tough. You said that one was.
Should catch him at this level, there's no doubt. I was just trying to look whether maybe he was balked by the keeper, but I don't think he was. It was Shane Watson's catch. So at test level, he should be catching them, there's no doubt.
So I'm right then, you have changed. Bit of a chat between Ricky Ponting and Michael Clarke, perhaps thinking field sets, which way to go, a change of plan as far as how to attack Hashim Amla. There's a man gone back onto the fence on the offside, is strong in that area, has got quite a few runs there, has Hashim Amla. There's a slip, one slip was at 1.5, and there are 2 gullies. There's also a man in at cover to try and bolster that area and see if Hashim Amla still will look to try and go through there.
I'm not unhappy with the 2 gullies, but unhappy there's not a second slip. I think that's very risky. You need wickets, got to win the game. The next one through second slip now, that's not going to be good.
So he hits it onto the other side. As the bowler, you've also got to make sure though that the line is such that the ball will go through the offside. If Amla is then looking to maneuver from outside off to the on, that's okay, you're in business. But you can't bowl straight.
Graham's played very well. I think when Australia look at where he scored his runs, they'll be a little bit disappointed that he's got a lot of runs on the leg side. Everybody knows that that's his strong area, so from a tactical point of view you want to try and avoid that. You need to make him hit through the offside, but he scored a lot of runs through his favourite leg side area. So if you were the coaching staff, you'd be disappointed with that from a bowling point of view.
Some will be counting it down in the South African change room, and it's double figures required now, 99 more. 2 is the call from Graham Smith, and they'll get across comfortably for the second. 139 for 1. Lovely day it is here at Sahara Park, Newlands. A summary then of this first test match. 284 and 447 plays 96 and 139 for 1. South Africa 97 runs away from victory. Time for a change in voice. H.D. Ackerman and Mike Hazeman.
Thank you, Pommy. Settle it is. Nice drive, strong stuff, punching. That's what we like to see from Hashim Amla. That's when he seems to be playing his best. And he's just easing it through the covers. There's no great flourish in that style. An hour to go before lunch now. The Australians will start to get just a little bit concerned. This has been an outstanding partnership.
He's played a few of these today as Hashim Amla. Got into a good position and, as you mentioned, just punched it. There hasn't been the big flourish, the follow through. Just got his weight into the ball. Been content hitting it for 2, not necessarily for 4.
quite interesting if you look at the splits of the overs today. The first 14 overs, 31 runs. Next 6 overs and 2 balls, 29 runs.
That might also have a little bit to do with who's on at the moment. And Siddle and Harris they've been more the consistent of the seam bowlers for Australia. Mitchell Johnson, well, he's struggled a little bit over the course of this match.
One thing you've got to like about Peter Siddle is that he's a 100%er. Surprisingly light on his feet, actually, when he runs into bowl and in delivery and in the follow through as well, but he's someone who's nice and direct at the batsman. Just under 140 k's per hour that last delivery. It's perfect. One slip and 2 gullies and a short catching cover.
Johnson, he's just struggled a little bit over the course of this test match. He was absolutely fantastic in Sri Lanka for Australia. And we're looking at his mountain. You can see where the peak is on a good length, between 6 and 8 meters from the stumps.
Flashing at that one. Now Siddle just tempted him with that line. The other one, the previous one, was a fraction tighter.
It's not the right length to drive.
Yeah, I'm with you. We're going to have a closer look at some of the work that Mitchell Johnson has done. We'll have to go into the next over to look at that. Michael Clarke, I think, is maybe the odd little word upstairs. Mitchell Johnson, such a key player for Australia and hasn't really done the job so far. That's allowed to go through quite harmlessly with a bit of a wry grin, wry smile from Siddle. 141 for 1. So 37 overs gone. Last night the run rate from South Africa was pretty impressive. They were going at just a shade under the 5 mark, actually, 4.5. It was. This session they're going at 3, so it's been more sedate, which is what you'd expect. But they've done the business so far, this pair. Whipped away on the leg side. Pretty well timed by Smith. This is going to be a bit of a teaser. Hughes is the man that tidies up, and they come back in the end for 3, which is good aggressive running.
And the running between the wickets, fantastic here from Graham Smith. Showed the energy that's required, chasing down something on a difficult surface. Knew immediately that may not have got the timing quite right, and it was going to get hauled in. And they got through for 3.
92 to win now. Smith 65. Umler on strike with 61. Partnership 117. What a difference a day makes. It's good work at mid-wicket.
Just going back to Mitchell Johnson, in that he's a very important cog in this Australian bowling lineup, and when he's successful, they're successful. And in Sri Lanka, he was brilliant. He got it on that good length, I mentioned, between 6 and 8 meters from the stump, so we can see the peak there on how consistent he was. Whereas in this match, yeah, he's got a few in that good area, and it's a bit scattered. So he needs to get more consistent as Johnson.
Well, I think it's a very interesting point you've picked up, HD, because he needs to lead the attack. That's the name of the game. That's what he did in 2009. He doesn't seem to be leading it now. I'll give you a comparison. with Dale Steyn. Dale Steyn was underdone. He admitted he was underdone. He needed some hard yards in the nets for 3 days, which he did. I also know that Alan Donald, as the bowling coach, took him aside and said, I want you to lead the South African attack in the test matches. And that is exactly what Dale Steyn did. Off the park with strategy meetings, on the park with the ball. Nice pull shot from Ashamamla. He's got enough of that to pick up a boundary. That is very well played. Well in front of square as well.
Not known as a puller of the ball, Hashim Amla. But on this occasion, it didn't get through as quickly as what Harris can get it through, and probably not as high. Amla does well.
So just to complete that, Steyn was given a roll and followed through beautifully on and off the park. Makes a massive difference when you've got someone who's leading an attack.
And I think Johnson's biggest problem has really been his consistency from series to series. He sort of will struggle in one test and then he comes back for the next and he's absolutely magnificent. So by no means is he out of this series as a bowler, because he can turn it on, and when he does, he is a handful.
Yep, look out when he does. Just one more thing about Steyn. The area that Steyn realised he didn't have right was his speeds. He said he's going to bowl flat out, and that's what he did in the nets as well, and that's what he brought into this game. His speeds at 150 k's per hour. Beautifully played, very good shot indeed, punching down the ground. That's another boundary. It's the second boundary off this over, 11 coming from it. Harris is not happy, 152 for 1. Now, there's the bowlers that have been used so far by Australia. Of course, they're all seamers. For the first time in this test match, we're going to see some spin from the visitors. The off-spinner, the old-fashioned type off-spinner, Nathan Lyon, who's young, 23, looks a little bit older than that, but he's 23 years of age, but those numbers aren't bad at the start of his career, particularly that 5 for 34, which was in his first test.
Not only is he new into test cricket, he's new into cricket, isn't he? Hasn't played a great deal of first-class cricket either. And I'm going to be intrigued, really, or interested to see how the South African batsmen go about playing him, because scoring runs off seamers has been tough in this game. Now the opportunity against some spin.
And when you watch him bowl, just think of the guys that we've been treated to watch, the Sir Clanes, the Matai Murali-Durans, those sort of blokes that whir the ball and with all the different actions. Ajmals. That's good, first up. It goes back to an old style way of bowling off spin. Nathan Lyon, not scared to give the ball flight either. That's another thing he does very well.
That's the way he'll look to try and get Smith out. From around the wicket, spinning it away from the left-hander. Smith's strength through the leg side. The leading edge is a possibility. The LBW.
He got Sangakkara caught in the slips. His first ball in Test cricket. Oh, cries of catch it, not that far away.
Just a little bit aerial from Smith.
Now that's quite interesting from Graham Smith. Decides that time to advance down the track, but gets right behind it. It's the ball before the last one. Just keeping the man under the helmet. Hughes interested. Sliding down the leg side. They're going to take whatever runs come their way. South Africa. And this time it's a couple. Gee, I'll tell you what, HT, this has been a terrific performance this morning by South Africa.
That it has. They've had to be a little bit gutsy as well, haven't they?
It's a great start, guys.
It's a good over from line, 2 from it, 154 for 1. Jacques Cullis, A.B. de Villiers, Ashwell Prince, Mark Boucher. Philander certainly gives the lineup a little bit of strength, a little bit more strength, I guess, than what we have seen previously. So there's still some boys who can bat to come. Australia definitely need a wicket. Watson into the attack. In the air for a while, well, they'll just stroll through for the single. It's getting to that stage, HD, where they need to pick up a wicket, and if they get one, they must get another one before the break.
Well, they certainly would have wanted one early this morning, and it's the man in picture, Shane Watson, who put down Umla at first slip. And then obviously the big wicket of Callis, because Boucher hasn't had much batting time. Philander hasn't batted at this level, and then the bowlers. So they would have felt that they had a chance if they'd have got a wicket early, but it is getting desperation time now.
I can't help but think of that wicket, or that correction, that catch dropped last night. Imagine the momentum into the change room if Hussey had snaffled that. Hashim Amla, last ball of the day. Not to be though. Nicely worked by Graham Smith. Beautifully timed. It is a long boundary, but it's going to go for 4. Superbly controlled.
This is all about the placement from Graham Smith. There is a backward point in place, and there was a gully, and he managed to just lace the ball between the two. Waited and waited, and just placed it there.
Two gullies. Whips it away on the leg side for a glorious 4.
I'd hate to even try and guess at how many runs Graham Smith has scored through this area over the course of his career. Cannot be straight. Just 3 on the leg side for Australia. Smith advances slightly down the wicket to make it into a half volley, but it's the line. From off stump and just outside, he still manages to work it through that mid-wicket area.
Just trying to chop that one down to third man.
Just starting to get a little bit of confidence back, and when he has that confidence, he wants to dominate.
I'm a little bit concerned about the Australians right now with their body language. There's not that much going on in the park. They would have expected, of course, to pick up an early one this morning. That was always going to be part of the team chat. Who's going to spur them on? Who's going to do something a little bit different for Australia here? It's got that away as well. That's going to be another boundary. It's going to be the 3rd in 4 balls. All for Smith.
When the game starts to slide away from one of the teams, these are the kind of things that start to happen. The ball starts to find the gap between the slips in the slip cordon. Smith just pushes forward. It's a thick outside edge, but it's all the way along the ground. Yet again, no third man in place. Why would Clark have a third man anyway? He needs to attack. He needs wickets.
South Africa have scored 26 runs in the last 3 overs now. That's a completely different story to what we have seen earlier today. Goes to the pole, a little bit unbalanced, but a good over for South Africa, 13 from it. 167 for 1. It's a nice little spurt from South Africa at the moment. Last 3 overs going at, that's rounded up to 9 per over. That changer will be feeling certainly more comfortable now, but they still won't be moving, believe me.
Well, South Africa still need more than what Australia got in their second innings.
A lot more.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Amla try and get a little bit more attacking against the off-spinner. I know they don't want to let Australia back in the game, but there is a real opportunity here to make a dent in those 69 required.
Which might be why mid-off and mid-on are lurking deep. Certainly not in their standard positions. They'd normally be up probably 10 yards from there. Down the track and over the top. No great connection, but 2 more.
It can work twofold, because Clark will have mid-on and mid-off up, wanting Amla to try and attack and make that mistake. He nearly did, because he didn't quite middle that.
Mid-on has dropped another 10 yards deeper. It's good work for Mumla, because as we said before, they would have watched a few DVDs of Lyon, the way that he bowls, and they will be aware that he's not scared to give it some air. I was quite interested to read before this test match, when there were so many comments about this track and how it's going to play, and guys were saying it's very dry, etc., that Nathan Lyon said that he hadn't really had a good look and he's not a great studier of pitches. He's a groundsman in Canberra and Adelaide Oval. Over the top. Terrific shot for 4.
Lyon again giving it air, but it's the width that he provides for Amla. Allows him to free his arms. Spin or no spin, this is a good shot. Deliberately going over extra cover. Yeah, hard to believe. Paul Harris was also quoted in the media as saying he thinks they should play 2 spinners at Newlands.
Did that surprise you? Six from the over. 173 for 1. This stand between Smith and Umla could not be better for South Africa. Frustrating, of course, for Australia. It now is at 146 off 208 deliveries. That's some going as well. As we look back at the match summary, Australia, well, Michael Clark thought initially they might be able to get 300 at the start of the innings. Then he pegged it back to 250. He would have been very happy, I think, with the 284. He would have been distraught. In fact, he was distraught. Had a bit to say at the press conference last night, with Australia being rolled over for just 47. And now 1 down for 173 South Africa. He will still be believing, that's for sure. Watson.
A little bit of an inside edge here for Smith.
Confirmation. Beautiful. It's another teaser. Nicely fielded as well, but they're going to come back for the 3rd.
I like the field placing Michael Clark had for Graham Smith there, with 4 on the leg side and 5 on the offside, but he still can't afford to be straight. He's got to encourage Smith to hit the ball through the offside. So he's still doing a good job hauling that in. Smith's weakness is through the offside, his strength is through the leg side.
Quick single, good stuff. Stand of 150 now between these two. 35 minutes to go now before lunch on day 3. Straight to the man in extra cover. It's been terrific work from these two. Lots of communication between them as well. Started off sedately and now mounting on the runs. Through the gap, end result, another boundary. 8 from the over, 181 for 1.
A partnership of 154. It has been critical for South Africa, chasing what was a substantial total on a difficult surface. Amla and Smith have been magnificent.
Nothing in that first innings, that's for sure. I mean, this would have been the best case scenario, I guess, in the team chat for South Africa before, and the worst case for Australia.
Nail on the head. There's a few other things that need to be considered. I think South Africa need to take some accolades for their selection, in that it would have been easy to have stuck with Lonwabo Tsotsobe after his success against India. They recognised the surface needed someone that pitched the ball a little bit further up. They went with Philander. Amla squeezes that fast backward point. Another boundary.
That was very clever batting. We know that right-handers like it if the off-spinners tend to stray a bit wide. Just watch the way with this ultra-motion camera shot that he just slices it backward a square. He's got such great hands. This time keeps the man on the leg side busy. Bit of a change in the shot, I think, at the last minute. Another look at that slice back at a square a couple of balls ago. See all the action there. We had a situation yesterday actually where Morne Morkel thought he picked up Siddle where the shot was out of the frame because he advanced down the track and stretched as well. Hotspot is a locked off camera at the business end, so we're bringing you those lovely shots just out of frame yesterday with Siddle on strike.
Smith will have the same attitude that Amla has. Harder for him to attack the off-spinner line.
Sweep out, bud.
Seen Amla really has taken him on. Will Smith try the same?
Mid-off is a bit deep. And he goes along the turf, which is the correct way to go at this stage, I'm sure. 186 for 1.
Run rates and over rates aren't important. What is the target. 236 was needed for victory. South Africa 186 for 1. Amla and Smith having recently gone past the 150 partnership. And Australia are going to turn to the man who has struggled a little bit in this test match, but is more than capable of turning things around. He's going to have to do it very quickly. Mitchell Johnson.
Gee, that's a nice punch. It's the last hurrah, I think, for this fella, Mitchell Johnson. He can turn a game on its head pretty dramatically if he gets it right, if he's streaking, as AB described it earlier. Nice little head-to-head again between Mitchell Johnson and Graham Smith. That's been the story of the last couple of years, and looks like it's the story again right now with the skipper on strike. But at this stage, he's got 84. In the commentary box now, Alan Border and Robin Jackman.
Thank you, Michael. Pulled away with power, but straight to the man. Johnson will have to do something extremely sensational, but this test match has been sensational, so you can't rule anything out, albeit that it looks a pretty good batting surface right now, Alan.
And it did this morning. We were looking at it and we were sort of shaking our heads in disbelief as to what we've seen the previous day. Because just looking at it, pitch itself, forget the scarring of footmarks and things, it just looks like an absolute belter, and it's been confirmed really the way these two have batted today. The odd moment, catch went down early, a couple of planned misses, but basically the ball's come onto the bat nicely, and there's been some very good batting over the last couple of hours.
Amla, 2 let-offs on 29 last ball last night and 30 early on this morning. Australia will obviously rue those, but they're things that happen in this game, and you've got to just forget about it. Shane Watson put him down this morning. It was Michael Hussey last night. Other little things that have happened during the morning. You only need 155 to win, and you're the fielding side, and the batting side needs 155 to win with 9 wickets, and the pitch looks pretty good now. You need stuff to happen for you. Graham Smith got an inside pull shot, inside edge, just past the stumps for 4. And that starts to happen, and you're in the fielding side. You start to think, maybe it's not going to be our day. End of the over. 189 for 1. South Africa require another 47. The lunch break is due at 12:30. However, should things go well for them in this next half hour, and the umpires feel that there can be a definite result within the next quarter of an hour, then lunch would be delayed for that 15 minutes. But it's an umpire's call. Harris.
It's looming like that might be a scenario. The run rate's been absolutely tremendous. These two have gone along at a fantastic clip. Ryan Harris, can he produce some heroics before a luncheon break, and then all those demons arrive after lunch break?
Yeah. Good shot. Be a couple. Unless he got a hand on it. Seven have been scored in the last 7 overs, and there will be 6 more overs probably up to the normal lunch time of 12:30 after this one. So it's very possible that the umpires might feel to carry on, so long as these two carry on.
Yes, at the current run rate, there's only going to be, well, 20 maybe or under required at that scheduled luncheon break, so probably be common sense to keep going for another half dozen overs.
I just wonder if it's quarter of an hour and they wonder when, and that quarter of an hour is up, do you all troop off for lunch and come back out after? Shot, beautiful shot. The presentation of the bat face to the ball was something to behold.
Absolutely magnificent. He's getting in such good position. His initial movements, just back and across, bullish delivery, foot to the pitch of the ball, beautiful bat swing straight through the line of the ball. You present the maker's name to the bowler, you're going to have some success.
4 more. Deliberately played down through the third man area.
Well, this is just superb batting. Ryan Harris hasn't done too much wrong. It's just excellent cricket, just banging the ball in, but using the pace of the ball, letting it run off the face of the bat and right out of the meat of the bat as well. Races away to the boundary. Well, we mightn't even need the extra 15 minutes, Jackers.
Whipped away. There'll be 4 more. 4, 4, 4. A record partnership and over. 203 for 1. It's a second wicket record partnership for South Africa against Australia. 176, 232 balls, beating the record of 173 set back in 1902-03 by Louis Tancred and Charlie Llewellyn. Good player, Charlie. I remember bowling at him in the nets.
Surprises me a little bit that there wasn't a Richards or a Pollock in there. During those dominant times in the late 60s against the Australians, that we have to go back that far to get the record partnership. Quite amazing.
Yeah, I guess. Using the two names that you've used, Barry opened and Graham didn't bat till 4, so he wouldn't have got in.
Yeah.
But how beautifully has Amla played. He's raced to 96 with that flurry of boundaries. You might recall Graham Pollock, Eddie Barlow for the 3rd wicket, 341. Who was that against, Keith? Australia, Adelaide. Is that 4? Is it 100? Yes, it is. Well played, Hashim Amla. You've had your luck, but you capitalised.
That is one hell of a knock. Given the circumstances of this match, that man on screen has produced something special. Yes, has had his fortune, but you need it on this surface, and that is a well-deserved 100. His 13th and first against Australia.
Also takes him to 4,000 career test runs. Slaps that through the covers as well.
He looks like he's just having a net now.
Did look like it, didn't it?
The last, well, half dozen deliveries he's faced, he's just gone hard at, and well, he's hit, what, 4 or 5 boundaries, hasn't he? Amazing stuff.
It's his record against Australia. 13 innings, 512 runs at 46.5. His best score. this current one, obviously. Quite enjoys playing here. It's his second 100 at this ground. Here's Johnson. Smith. It's 26 to win. Can Smith get 14 of them?
He deserves it. He's played so well. He's really anchored the innings. Amlar's had a little bit of luck. Graham Smith has just really been... He's got himself in some good touch. It's a good sign for the future, isn't it, that he's starting to hit the ball so well.
Yeah, when you think he was in hardly any form at all just 3 weeks ago. Back down the ground, sweet timing, 4 more. Hamler can't stop hitting boundaries.
This is some good batting. Cannot bowl a delivery that he's not getting right out of the meat of the bat. It's just back of a length, a little bit uppishly past the bowler, but no chance for him. He just races away.
It's his 9th boundary in the last 30 balls that he's faced in Kew Keith Lane. Another very good over for South Africa. 214 for 1. It's just a little 100 package. Some of the strokes that Amler's played. Caught the pull shot out, hit it in front of square, took the off spinner on, and then straight drove the ball quite beautifully. Look at Hashim Amla's wagon wheel. Look at the strokes straight down the ground. 5 straight drives, and then drives through extra cover and back with a square. It's very strong on the onside, yet only 2 boundaries through mid-wicket. Smith now crashes it to cover.
They just look like they're throwing the bat at everything. It's good cricket shots. Not slogging, but just shows you how well the surface is playing now. Just every ball is hitting the mid of the bat.
Now there's a lad there. You can leave that alone, or that's it. Yeah, don't let him in. But if you wouldn't mind moving, we can get on with the cricket. Yeah, you're the guy. Thank you. Thanks, mate. Terrific. Runs for Smith, just 1. Must be quite awkward, Alan, and you must have been in the position too, where your team only needs 21 to win. You need 12 for the 100. You would really like the 100 because you worked hard for it. But what's the process? Just play till the game's over?
Most definitely. I don't think Graham Smith is such an experienced campaigner. He won't worry about the 3 figures. He's got winning this cricket match on his mind. That's it. If he ends up 95 not out, so be it.
Whipped away by Amler, almost with disdain. Yet another boundary.
Well, it's a shot of ball now. They are really taking the sword to the Australians. Cannot bowl a ball that's not being met. This is back of a length, drifting down the leg side, but Amler just flicking it over the infield. Just nonchalant.
Really good crowd in here now. The Oaks is virtually full. Hardly a space on the grass over there. Even some of the members have come out of the terrific. It's Friday. Imagine how full it might be if it had been a Saturday. Smith wants 2, won't get it.
$15 to win. Been an incredible morning's play. And the bat has dominated. We've been under pressure this morning. And they've just gone about it quite brilliantly.
.221 for 1. Gary Kirsten in the foreground there with his back to you. He and his lovely wife Debbie have just had their 3rd child, a little girl, a couple of days ago. What a lovely present this is for him.
That'd be a happy camp up there. And only a few short hours ago, they would have been in disarray. It's quite incredible, the turnaround, how quickly this game has flipped.
Smith 89, 15 to win.
There hasn't been a defensive shot played for 20 minutes. This test match, Jackers, it's only lasted 13 hours. 165 overs. I mean, I reckon I batted for 13 hours one time.
It's only 2 new balls. Okay, Smith can only get the 1.
I suppose it's you could have a discussion with your mate at the other end. Amlar might say, look, do I just sort of block it out now, or do you want me to keep going the way I'm going so you can get your 100, skipper? I don't think that would be the conversation. I think the skipper would be saying, mate, if it's there to hit, you hit it.
I would agree. Double Nelson on the board.
He's worked up some good pace today, Mitchell Johnson, but hasn't really looked threatening. Got some really good deliveries, but just that consistency is not there as far as that length. But I mean, that was a very, very good short ball. Ooh, even his mate was ducking.
Out, caught in a deepish gully area. But he's done the job, and he's done it brilliantly. Double Nelson for 2 strikes.
Well, the end of an absolutely fantastic performance from Hashim Amla, getting a standing ovation as he leaves the ground. 112 he's made to score 2 for 222.
Stand on their feet. Played brilliantly, but he'll still be a little disappointed that he didn't finish it off. Jacques Henry Callis comes to the wicket. I suppose it's much fun walking in on a pair when you only need 12 to win or whatever it is. But what an amazing career. 11,000, almost 12,000 runs, 57.16 he averages, 54 50s, 40 centuries. And this was the end of Hashim Amla.
Wideish delivery. Amla had been playing so well this occasion, just getting a little bit of an outside edge and flying away to Michael Clarke, who'd stationed himself in that gully region. And the skipper rushing up to congratulate Hashim Amla at the end of a great performance. And now we have Jacques Callis. As you say, Jack, because this is not a good time to walk in. All you can do is get, what, half a dozen not out. And you're on a pair as well.
Might be a bit wide. Remember, this will be the second highest run chase to win a game in the 4th innings at Newlands. .223 for 2. .223 for 2, South Africa. They require just 13 runs to win this test match. Graham Smith requires 10 to get to 3 figures. Scored at a good rate, just 48 overs bowled for the 223 scored.
Oh, the game has definitely rollicked along. There's been very few dull moments. When the batting's been good, it's been outstanding. When the batting's been bad, it's been very bad. And then on top of that, there's been some excellent bowling.
Driven down the ground, and it will run away for 4. Smith moves to 94.
So strong, hitting the ball down the ground. It was a half volley, but you've still got to get the bat on the ball, and that is right in his zone. Graham Smith, he's been playing so well, and he's a strong man. Muscled that foolish delivery past mid-on, and plenty for that man to ponder out of this game.
It's I think a bit of bat, and also sliding down from that angle round the wicket, and Peter Siddons decided to bowl now.
Not sure, there was might have been a little bit of bat in there. No bat, but clearly missing with the angled delivery. So getting a little excited in the death throes of this game.
Just the one. Aggressive from Smith down the wicket. It didn't go far past that straight mid-wicket. And in the air as well, but he's safe. 8 to win.
Back towards you a little bit, mate.
8 to win, and the skipper needs 5 of them. That would be some way to finish it off.
Sit up here.
Remember a game, I think it was an ODI against the West Indies in the West Indies, and A.B. de Villiers had 94, 4 required to win the match. He hit it for 6 to go to his 100 and win the game.
Oh, he's a big chance to get these this century, because Jacques Callis, he won't be taking any risks. He'll just be very watchful and leave it up to his skipper. He'll want to get off 0 though, won't he? He'll want to get at least 1.
There's the thing. Well, that's true love, isn't it? Squeezed away by Callis. Come back for 2. Smith will keep the strike then for the next over. 230 for 2. With 2 men out, Rudolph for 14, Amler for a magnificent 112 from 134 deliveries. Still at the crease, Graham Smith 95, needing just 5 for his 100 with 6 runs to win the game. And Jacques Callis not out 2. Down the ground, 4.
Well, Graham Smith takes the risk, punches the ball down the ground a little bit uppishly, and he goes to 99. And just 2 runs required to win this game. So on the threshold of century number 23. Deserves it.
Chooses not to run the 1 by. Was on offer.
That will be a very jubilant dressing room, and that will be a very solemn place, one suspects. The Australian captain will have a lot to ponder over the next couple of days. He'll charge the troops.
Must have fancied that he had that then. Johnson just got a little bit of reverse swing. He's just swinging into the left-hander. Wonderful atmosphere on the ground now. bat, but straight to a fielder.
It always amazes me how sides lift. Like the ballsmen getting smacked all over the place, yet the fielding now is on edge because you get to 99. Why does that happen?
I don't know. It's just a whole new atmosphere created, I guess, isn't it? Batsman's nervous. You're nervous no matter whether you're going to get your 100th 100 or your first. You're going to be nervous. Is it such a great achievement? Graham Smith goes to his 23rd 100, his second against Australia. And what a fantastic innings it's been. The captain said, OK, well done the bowlers, now we've got to do this. And he's gone out there and led the way.
Magnificent performance from Graham Smith. Led right from the front, and it's been a superb knock for all the right reasons. The state of the game, the state of his own performance level. His game was off, but all of a sudden he's produced something special just when his side needed it.
One to win now. Almost seems like an anti-climax. This is the other thing that always happens when it's one to win. Everybody comes up and saves one. With 2.5 days to go. You have to wait another over. It's 2:35 for 2. Tremendous innings from Graham Smith. He looked the part the first innings, got out for 38, dragged Shane Watson down onto his stumps, but on a pitch that was had a lot more gremlins in it. He really knuckled down and got stuck in. South Africa have gone about this chase in a positive manner. They came out last night having bowled out Australia for 47 and played with a great deal of positivity, led by their captain. Just got a nick on that, which is probably just as well.
Yeah, it might have been a big shot from the Australians. That had got through. May have been angling down as well.
South Africa take the honours in what has been quite an extraordinary test match. It's all over in 2.5 days, and one of the most remarkable matches that any of us have witnessed, and I would think any of those players out there have played. South Africa go 1 up in the series.
Quite a remarkable end to what has been a remarkable and at times bizarre test match. All congratulations to the South Africans, and that is a tremendous win coming from absolutely nowhere in this match. Just seems like just a few hours ago, and all of a sudden they win in a canter, and it's quite an extraordinary situation. The Australians will be very, very disappointed. They had taken the game by the scruff of the neck, and all of a sudden they find themselves a few short hours later on the losing end. So the crowd treated to something special throughout the course of this match. We've had quite good crowds in as the weather's improved, and quite rightly they're giving their side and their national captain a hero send-off.
Who would have thought, with the deficit on the first innings of 188, South Africa would end up winning this test match by 8 wickets. It's just a ridiculous turnaround through some fantastic bowling and what has to be said, probably some indifferent shot selection by the Australian batting side in the second innings. And all of a sudden, with 2.5 days gone, the test match is over. In blazing sunshine on one of the prettiest cricket grounds in the world. Australians, South Africans all shaking hands. They're great antagonists, but they're great mates. The Aussies and the South Africans, they get on, always got on really well off the field. But no tougher combat on it between these two teams.
As has become tradition, both sides entering the field and congratulating each other. Always good to see the spirit of the game is still alive and well.
Absolutely. Let's have a look at those winning runs again. No, we won't. We'll see the celebration afterwards. Graham Smith almost saying, can you actually believe that? His wife is obviously up in one of the boxes here. It's a fairly new wife. He only got married just a few months ago. Well, we've spoken about this game so much. At the end of it all, South Africa win it by 8 wickets. The most bizarre test match I can remember witnessing. And I think that goes for all of us. It's been tremendous cricket. Sometimes very good, sometimes very poor, but overall still tremendous. It's just been a on the edge of your seat type of game to watch, up until perhaps the last hour or so, when it always looked as if South Africa were going to canter home, and they did. Just losing the 2 wickets. Rudolph last night caught Haddon bowled Siddle for 14. Amla played brilliantly today and got out with just a half a dozen runs or so to win, caught by Clark in the gully off the bowling of Johnson for 112. Smith took his team home, completed his 23rd Test century, and Cullis got off his pair, is about all one could say there.
The partnerships, that telling partnership between Smith and Amla, 195, and that just took the game away from the Australians, and very much in favour of the South Africans, that partnership alone.
Australian bowlers bowled, you know, they worked hard, there's no doubt about that, but the pitch did flatten out. There's no doubt about that either. Harris 14 overs for 67. Siddle 12 and a bit, 1 for 49. The 2 wicket takers being Siddle and Johnson. Lyon just bowled the 3 overs. Perhaps he should have bowled a little bit earlier today, who knows. At the end of the day, the pitch on day 3 was a much better pitch to bat on than it was on days 1 and 2. Just reflect that Australia were put into bat by Graham Smith. They scored 284, having been 214 for 8. The tail Wagner, magnificent innings, which we must not forget, by their captain Michael Clark, who looked as if he was playing on a totally different surface. Batted, it was the last man out for 151. South Africa then were comfortably placed at 49 for 1 at lunch yesterday. Were ripped out for 96 after lunch, with a spell from Watson of 5 for 17. And then Australia repeated the performance, bowled out for 47. They were 21 for 9. And Nathan Lyon was the top scorer, batting at number 11 with 14. Philander 5 for 15. South Africa then went in overnight at 81 for 1, having lost the wicket at Rudolph, and they didn't look back today. 236 for 2. They win by 8 wickets and lead the 2-match series by 1 match to 0.
Welcome back, everybody. A lovely day in Cape Town, and the test match, the first Sunfoil test match, is done and dusted. That's what happened. The match summary then. Australia put into bat by South Africa on day number 1, which is not too long ago actually. 284 all out, 151, a fantastic innings by Michael Clarke. Good work by Dale Steyn, 4 for 55. He bowled beautifully in the first innings along with Vernon Philander, who got 3 for South Africa. 96 all out, gone in a flash. They were 5 for 17 by Watson. Australia, well, they came in and they were gone even faster than a flash. 47 all out. Philander on debut, 5 for 15. And then South Africa, batting last, had conceded a lead of 188 runs, had to get 236. That's exactly what they did. 236 for 2. A couple of special hundreds from Hashim Amla and also the skipper Graham Smith. A look at the tour schedule then. We've got just one game to go. The second test match in Johannesburg. This one won by 8 wickets and won by the home side, South Africa. Just about set then for the post-match presentation after this first Sunfoil test match between South Africa and Australia. Let's go to Mike Hazeman.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the presentation. I'm sure you'll all agree this is a test match we're all going to remember for a long, long time. What an extraordinary day it was on day 2 when 23 wickets went down. It was sensational cricket, action-packed, and of course the result today is something a lot of people are going to be very proud of in this country. Allow me to introduce the delegates, of course, who are alongside me on the podium. I do have Beresford Williams, who's the president of the Western Province Cricket Association, and Shoaib Musa, Sunfoil Sales and Marketing Director. The first person for me to chat to, of course, is Michael Clarke. Michael, how do you assess that test match?
Look, an interesting 3 days, I guess. We, without doubt, let ourselves down in the second innings with the bat. Full credit has to go to South Africa, not only with the ball, but the way they played today. We probably would have needed six or 700 on the board anyway. So, you know, full credit needs to go to South Africa. They outplayed us in this test match.
It's extraordinary to think that after both teams had batted once, you guys had a lead of 188.
Yeah, look, we're in a good position, but we let that slide very quickly. I think, well, at one stage we were 9 for 21, so look, we have no excuses for that. It's we played disgraceful shots. Our shot selection was horrendous. Our execution, again, with the ball today wasn't great, and we let the test match slide. So, like I say, we have no excuses. We have a lot of work to do before this second test match.
How much did the pitch change over the 3 days?
Not really. Look, I still think throughout the whole game there was enough there. As I said on day 1, after I spent a bit of time out there, when it was overcast, there was a bit more in it in the wicket than when the sun was out. But look, we got rolled for 47, the sun was shining. So, like I say, we've got no excuses.
We all were raving about your knock of 151, which was an outstanding knock. You said you're going to tell us how good it was in about 3 or 4 days' time.
Yeah, and I can tell you now it was useless. It was a waste of time. You know, the only time you, I guess you want to make runs is to help your team and your country win, and unfortunately that 150 of mine, I'll certainly forget about that very quickly.
And work to be done now before the next test of the Wanderers.
Yeah, look, we have to have a good chat today and find a way to get over it as soon as possible. It's cricket. There's plenty of tough times throughout your career, and I guarantee you this is one tough time for that team up there. But you know, our goal is to fight hard in this second test and get a win and try and level the series before we get on a plane back home.
Michael, thanks for your time.
Thanks, Mike.
Michael Clarke, magnificent with his 151. That was his 16th Test 100 of just 176 deliveries, and great to hear him nice and honest and blunt with those comments. I'd now like to call Graham Smith ahead, please. Graham, of course, will collect a cheque for 37,500 Rand from Beresford Williams. Graham, that's got to be enormously satisfying.
Yeah, it's quite incredible. As you know, yesterday was a bit of a mind boggle for all of us. I think I think all the bowlers need credit. They bowled well. I think they bowled pretty straight, and there was just enough movement either way that created the chances and opportunities. But I think that's probably a win that I need to give to the bowlers. You know, the way they fought back from a bad batting display and got us back in the game, and we were able to close it off, which was terrific.
You've been saying that these clashes against Australia in the media bring the best out of you.
Yeah, I hope so. It wasn't always that way. It was a bit tough up front, but I think I've grown into it, and the performances of late have been really good against Australia. I think we showed a lot of resilience in this Test match. Each player did. I knew not having played a Test match in 8 or 9 months, we were going to get better and better as the game went on. So we needed just to get ourselves in the game. And I thought Michael Clark's 100 in the first innings was a great knock, and probably could have been the difference at the end of the day.
And yourself, your 100, that must have been enormously satisfying to steer the boys home.
Yeah, I've been working hard. It's been an important phase, the comeback phase from a long layoff and a tough period after the World Cup. I just in particular want to thank the people who stood by me and worked with me and got me to this point, and hopefully this is the starting point of paying them back and winning a few people over, hopefully.
Quite remarkable thing, Graham, if you look at this Test match and the number of overs, it's all over pretty much in 2 days after losing 35 overs on day one.
I know, it's quite incredible. I think the boys are looking forward to a weekend off, and then obviously move up to Joburg and refocus again for the second Test. We've got a nice period now, including this one. We have 5 Tests in a row with Sri Lanka coming, so it's a nice period for us to get really into our cricket and work hard and play well. But hopefully they're a little bit less stressful than this one, and we can improve and get better and better and keep that graph going up.
Now, an important part of the victory, of course, was Dale Steyn firing first up, which is, I know, a very important part of your makeup of your team. But what about this new quick you found?
Yeah, look, as I said before the Test match, Vernon has deserved his call-up. His stats in first-class cricket over the last 2 years have been really incredible. And he had a wicket that he could work with, and he did a hell of a job on it. He bowled supremely well. It was almost like he had played for a few years. So that's the guy. He's got a bit of mettle, and it's great to have. And he not only did he pick up wickets, but he brought some good control to us also.
1-0 up, 1 Test to go. I guess you wish there were a few more.
Of course, I said it's a bit disappointing only to play 2 Test matches against Australia, but that's what we've got to deal with now. And the first Test was so crucial to the series, and going 1-0 up is so important, and hopefully we can carry on the momentum in Joburg.
Well played, see you in a couple of days, and well played yourself.
Thank you, Hayes. Cheers.
Graham Smith, of course, the victorious captain. Both the skippers playing superbly in this Test match.
So, another Test match to come. South Africa against Australia. That's Thursday, the 17th of November. We'll be on air for that one, and we'll be in Johannesburg live at the Bullring, the Bidvest Wanderers. You don't want to miss it. Thanks to all of you for watching. We'll catch you again at the Wanderers. Goodbye.